Gorgeous night and the early evening sunshine here in Oklahoma City. Starting lineups brought to you by Capital One for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Only 5 hits yesterday, but enough to get 3 runs across. Allison Febri had 2 of the 5 hits and an RBI. Cheyenne Factor a 2-run home run, and Avery Hobson continued her strong play with a hit and a run near the bottom of the order. No question it was going to be Odyssey Alexander yet again. She was trending on Twitter yesterday. You got to put her back in the circle.
Absolutely. You want the ball in her hands. A 1.23 ERA on the season. Remember, she got that win to get here against Oklahoma. Her rise ball was nasty. Her velocity was high, and she is a fighter.
Out of Boynton, Virginia, and Parkview High School in South Hill, here at the World Series after a complete game win. She got Oklahoma yesterday. She'll take aim at Oklahoma State tonight. And ball 1 is thrown at 6:06 local time to Kylie Naomi. Naomi, the first team all Big 12 shortstop out of Maurice, Louisiana. 9 for 20, 3 home runs and a walk in the NCAA tournament. And a 1-0 pitch on the ground to Lindsey Meeks at third, and a quick first out for Alexander.
Talks about that rise ball that we saw against Oklahoma, and this is what it looked like. She was able to go up and in on the righty's hands with a late break. Looked like it would start about letter high and then break, explode out of the zone. Oklahoma hitters had so many swings and misses where they were missing her rise ball by about 3 or 4 inches. That is the pitch that needs to be working for her here today.
The 9 strikeouts tied a season high for any Oklahoma team. Did so against Texas Tech as well a couple of weeks ago. 129 pitches in the win for Alexander, who held Oklahoma to its fewest runs scored in a game this season. 53 games in the first time the Sooners had been held under 4. Batter is Cheyenne Factor, who had her first home run of the NCAA tournament yesterday. 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. Oklahoma State a 3-2 win over Georgia. Both teams 1-run winners to get here. Oklahoma State coming out of the Stillwater Regional and Super Regional. Swept the Regional, beat Texas 2 of 3. And they are 1-0 here in Oklahoma City, about an hour down the road. Factor attacks a rise ball, fouls it away for strike 2.
Another thing that Odyssey did well yesterday against Oklahoma was she limited her walks. She went right at hitters, attacked them, and the only 2 walks that she had in that game were to Jocelyn Allen, the National Player of the Year. So strategically trying to pitch around her and trying to make somebody else beat them.
Only the 1 home run allowed to Tiare Jennings in that game. Another ground ball to third. This one from Factor, and Meeks throws her out. Lindsey Meeks, the first-year starter at third with a couple of assists. Once again, a spectacular crowd here on Friday, the 4th of June in Oklahoma City. A lot of Cowgirls fans, and I'm guessing that just about every neutral fan is pulling for James Madison, the ultimate underdog here. Allison Febri smokes it to first, and it's caught by Hannah Shiflett. Shiflett does not bat in the JMU lineup, but she does field.
No strikeouts in this inning for Alexander, but 3 great defensive plays, including this 3rd out by Hannah Shiflett. That got on her in a hurry.
7-pitch first inning for Odyssey Alexander. James Madison will bat against Carrie Eberly now in the bottom of the 1st. JMU starting lineups presented by Capital One. And the big fly yesterday came in the 8th inning from Kate Gordon, James Madison's all-time home run leader. Home run number 69 of her career. None of the previous 68 beat Oklahoma in the World Series, so certainly the biggest. But Sarah Jubis had 3 hits behind her as well. James Madison just 3 hits as a team, but 2 left the yard. Oh, Oklahoma State also goes with the same pitcher back-to-back days. Carrie Eberly coming off another complete game win.
Yeah, Carrie Eberly is going to come in with a really hard drop ball. She's a pitcher that has a ton of experience, another super senior, just like Odyssey Alexander, who got that extra year because of COVID and is just trying to live it out.
And it will be Gordon, the home run hero from the 8th inning. And a drop ball is low. 70 miles per hour on the drop ball. We're going to see that velocity. We're going to see that movement quite a bit for Eberly, who told us during the week she throws about 95% drop balls right now. Against the former All-American, two-time All-American Kate Gordon. And a foul tip for strike one. Gordon had been just 2 for 24 coming into that at-bat in the 8th inning in the NCAA tournament. 0 for 10 at Supers before the big home run. Said going into the at-bat, I thought nothing else matters except this at-bat.
Coaches talk about how positive that Kate Gordon is, and you have to stay positive when you're 2 for 24 going into an at-bat. It's tough to stay mentally into it, but she said she did. She cleared her mind, just put all of that behind her for that at-bat, and got that home run on a full count.
And struck out twice, got 0 for 3 before it. And a foul tip here, still 1-2. There are the postseason numbers for Gordon. Continually supported by her teammates. So they were telling her, Kate, don't get in your head. And she got out of it just in time to give James Madison the lead in extras for their eventual win. Ball. Home plate umpires mic'd up today. We appreciate that. All our umpires are mic'd up. You heard from Don Brown there behind the plate. Cameron Ellison at first, Jim Bertuzzi at second, and Leah Dame walks the beat at third. We have ump cam as well, which we may show you at some point during the proceedings. Another excellent angle. One of our 42 cameras here. Lauren Laporte over at third. 4th-year head coach at James Madison. What a quick rise through the ranks for her. Played at Roanoke College. Coached there for a year in 09, went to Radford, then followed Mickey Dean to JMU as an assistant. And now in charge as Gordon blasts one to left field, deep but not deep enough. Cleaned up by Chelsea Alexander.
It's a good-looking swing by Kate Gordon, by the way, to back up that home run. But here's what you're going to see out of Carrie Eberly. She's going to throw a ton of drop balls, force a lot of ground balls. The hitters will constantly hit the top of the ball because of that down movement. They will swing over the top of that tumbling drop ball. It just falls off the table, starting at the knees and then ending at the shoelaces. That is her bread and butter pitch. It's going to be the best drop ball that James Madison is going to have seen all year.
Here's Sarah Jubis, and there's another one of what we expect to be many balls hit on the ground. So what is the best way? We just saw Eberly throw it. What is the best way for an offense to attack it?
1, stay in your legs, decide where, and 2, decide if you're going to move up in the box or move back in the box to try to make her bring it up. And then 3, you have to try to hit more of the bottom of the ball, swing underneath it. As crazy as it might sound, there's some things you tell yourself as a hitter to exaggerate to make an adjustment. But it's going to go, there's her off-speed pitch too that she'll work in, but it's going to go down very fast. They're going to have to get their barrel to it.
Only 2 strikeouts yesterday for Eberly, but 14 groundouts in the complete game win. And walked just 1 against Georgia. On an 0-2, Jubis hits a weak ground ball to second, and Carly Petty makes the play. Start your ground out meter now. There's the first of what's likely to be many induced by Eberly.
Now batting the pitcher, number 3, Odyssey Alexander.
Eberly, you see the numbers from yesterday, 118 pitches. A brilliant run through the NCAA tournament. 5 starts, 5 complete games, 5-0 with a 1.27 ERA. She'll face her counterpart. Odyssey Alexander takes a ball. Two-way player for James Madison, Alexander. Second-team All-American, won the CAA Pitcher of the Year last year. This year has previously been CAA Player of the Year. Way she swings the bat as well. Alexander, career .338 hitter, .429 on base, and 39 career home runs. Slugging percentage just south of .600. A phenomenal career at the plate. If she was only a hitter, she'd be one of the best at JMU.
Yeah, a pitcher who just wants to be involved in every single play. She wants to be involved in balls that are hit to her, bunts up at the plate. She just wants a bat in her hand. She wants a ball in her hands.
The fifth-year senior Alexander against the fifth-year senior Eberly.
Love the story that she told us about how she would wait for the bus to go to school, would pick up a rock, a stick, throw the rock up and hit it with the stick, just working on her eye-hand coordination, just working on her swing. There's not a lot of young kids who are doing that, so clearly having a passion for the game at an early age.
From Southside, Virginia, Alexander. On a 2-2, Eberly one hops, ball 3.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
Another vocal contingent in purple and gold for James Madison. Is that leaf fitting in the purple wing? I know the JMU alums have loved every second of this run, and they should. A run that's going to extend at least until tomorrow as Alexander pushes her way to first with a walk. So one walk already for Eberly to match her total from yesterday. And she'll face the right fielder, Logan Newton.
Carrie Eberly told us that she loved the month of May and the competition that they played in that month to prepare them for the postseason. They played a lot of challenging games in the Big 12 tournament, went up against Texas, Oklahoma, and Bedlam series. That was pretty intense.
One of 3 teams to beat Oklahoma this year. Facing one of the others as Logan Newton elevates a drop ball into left field. A line drive single for the redshirt junior Newton, and the Dukes have 2 on with 2 out.
A good piece of hitting by Logan Newton. The first strike that she sees, she just stays on it and is able to barrel it up to the left side, right in front of Chelsea Alexander out there in left field. JMU, a little 2-out rally.
Georgia had 7 hits yesterday. Only a couple were in the air, mostly ground ball hits. A line drive here brings up Madison Nyokas. And a strike to the redshirt senior Nyokas. First team All-CAA player from Chicago. Amazing stolen base threat. 308, 401 on base percentage. And a little bit of pop. Nyokas was actually caught stealing for the first time this year yesterday. She stole a base against Lindsay Elam. Kinsey Hansen came in to catch at the 6th, then promptly caught Nyokas, who was 26 for 27. '21st pitch of the first inning coming from Eberly. And it is strike 2.
It's a tough pitch to hit. That drop ball inside corner, just, it's so powerful when it comes in at 70 miles an hour and tumbles down.
One, 2. And a good take.
Really good take. And we saw them do that against Shannon Sale yesterday against Oklahoma. They didn't swing too much out of the zone. They didn't chase, had a really good eye, really good game plan and understanding about what the pitcher's best pitch was.
Dukes had just one hit with a runner in scoring position yesterday, the Jubas home run. And with 2 on here, a ground ball back to Eberle, whose throw is wide to first. A run is in. Newton to third base. It is 1-0 James Madison.
Take your time. Take your time.
Nayoka is a little bit shaken up after a collision with Febri. A single and an error against Eberle.
Yeah, we saw this yesterday in balls that were hit back to Eberle. Just not a lot of confidence in her throw, whether it was a force out at second or this throw to first base. And Nayoka ends up making contact with Allison Febri because of where that throw brought Febri. And Alexander is going to be able to score on that error for the first run of the game.
It was the 5th inning yesterday when Eberle one-hopped to throw to second that Carly Petty picked. We saw her in the 6th inning not go to second on a ground ball back to her. And here she commits her 6th error of the season. Again, she gets a lot of ground balls, so she's going to get more chances, but 6 errors is still a very high number for a pitcher.
This is from yesterday's game, whenever they were playing Georgia. Throw to second base that Petty bailed her out on, and thankfully she was able to make that catch for Oklahoma State. And then deciding not to go to second base, underhanded to first base. So it's the overhand throw that she just doesn't have a lot of confidence in right now. That led to a run.
We talked about that being such a mental part of the game yesterday, and the game will do this to you. The ball finds Eberle immediately on Friday night. Lindsey Meeks takes a strike. Newton went first to third on the play, and Nayoka, who is okay after the collision, stays in the game at first. Again, great stolen base threat. Could be a chance for James Madison to move another runner into scoring position.
Got time.
Lindsey Meeks, the shortest player in the World Series, 4'11" junior. And Meeks with a fly ball to right, that will land foul. The shortest player in the World Series and maybe the most energetic player in the World Series. Lindsey Meeks, Lauren Laporte calls her the team's hype man.
Who clearly loves police escorts.
As we saw in the open.
She's going to leave the World Series and be like, hey, I got to run to the store. Can I have a police escort to get me there? She's going to be famous.
First team all-conference player, first-year starter. Another player winning hearts across the nation for JMU. This is what we saw Lindsey tweet a couple of days ago. Told I was too short to play D1 ball. I'm 4'11" in the Women's College World Series. Bet against yourself. On the ground at third and Pennington, and the inning is over. As I'm reading that, I'm thinking, shouldn't that be bet on yourself? Whatever, it got thousands of likes anyway. She's in the World Series. James Madison has the first run on the single and the error. There is a time for many words, and there is also a time for rise balls. Odyssey Alexander, 9 strikeouts yesterday in a complete game win over Oklahoma. Took the nation by storm, was trending on Twitter. It's been an emotional week, Jalen Johnson, for America's new softball star.
It has. She even got emotional during her post-game interview yesterday when I asked her about her grandfather. Emily and Alexander William. I'm so sorry. Her grandfather was the one that. Emily and Washington Alexander, her grandfather was the one that taught her how to pitch. She used to pitch against the side of the house, and her grandmother said, no way, you're not putting a dent in the side of my house. So her grandfather had to make a pitching well for her. He spray painted targets on them so that she would pitch to them. She would also, like Amanda was saying, go out in the driveway when she was waiting on her bus and hit rocks. And she said that is the reason that she decided to play softball, the support from her grandparents and the love that she showed them. And they cannot be here this weekend, but she knows that they're watching from home.
And Jalen, this tweet that we're seeing, I love you, Pops, my day one. It's emotional talking to Odyssey, hearing her talk about her grandparents, the support they gave her, the way that they pushed her to become a better player to pick up softball. They could tell that she fell in love with it from a young age. And, you know, we ask her about what her family means to her. And it's very emotional immediately for Alexander, who was not recruited by almost anybody. Longwood was in the mix. Virginia Wesleyan, a D3 school from a very small school in Virginia, and has found her way here to a national stage. Odyssey, an appropriate first name for the journey she's been through.
Well, and a pitcher who's highly self-motivated. Jalen mentioned that well that she would throw into, and she would watch YouTube videos. She taught herself how to pitch through YouTube videos, and that takes dedication. That takes a passion. That takes a will to want to learn. And she had that in all parts of the game.
By the way, I know you're too nice, so I do want the folks to know she said she learned through your YouTube videos, Amanda Scarborough.
Very honored.
Free
that
publicity.
They helped. Yeah.
And to think I should have watched your videos where I could have gone.
Still time.
That's right. That is way high to Busby, and Haley Busby a leadoff walk in the second. Now you heard Jalen talking about the pitching target, and there are the targets that Pops spray painted on out in the backyard in Southside VA.
Yeah, and you can tell that middle block is a bit pushed in just from hitting it over and over and over again.
I thought our friend Kayla Lombardo of Softball America made a great point on Twitter yesterday. So many barriers to entry, she said, that exist in softball. Imagine all the Odysseys out there who don't get seen, because Lauren Laporte and the coaches went to see a different player, and they found Odyssey at a tournament. Mickey Dean, the old head coach. And that's how Odyssey Alexander found her way onto the radar of James Madison. Got a stoppage now. The runner, Busby, has gone over to the Oklahoma State dugout with a 1-0 count. Looks like Haley Busby's going to take a drink of water.
She had to have just felt something else to feel the need just to call a timeout, take a quick breath, and get a drink of water. Wouldn't have just been like, hey, I'm thirsty, I'm going to go over there.
You never did that when you're on the base pass? 2-0 count. I need a beverage, please. Refreshment. It is 84 degrees here today. A little bit sticky. Sydney Pennington takes high, and Alexander a little bit wayward to start. A 5-pitch walk of Busby, and now 2-0 on the powerful Sydney Pennington, the all-time home run leader at Oklahoma State with 37 career. On a 2-0 count, a fly ball sent high into left field, but not deep enough. Gordon in foul territory hauls it in.
You can tell that Oklahoma State has a good approach against Alexander already, trying to see the ball down the zone, not helping her out, chasing that rise ball or a curve ball that will also go more up in the zone.
Now batting second baseman number 14, Harley Penny.
Against Oklahoma, she had 17 swings and misses. And a lot of those were chases out of the zone.
Batter is Carly Petty, and a strike. Sophomore from Moore, Oklahoma, on base 11 of her last 12 games. Started all but one game in her 2 years at OSU. Petty, player who can bunt, who can hit for power. Pretty good eye as well. Hey, tomorrow on ABC, a great WNBA doubleheader. 1 Eastern, noon Central, the Las Vegas Aces against the great Tina Charles and the Washington Mystics. Haven't seen Tina Charles play, leading scorer in the league, 27 per game. And the Chicago Spy and the LA Sparks after that. 3 Eastern, 2 Central, games on ABC and streaming live on the ESPN app. And thanks, by the way, to Elena Deladon, one of the great women's basketball players in the world, for voicing our tees tonight. Kat Osterman yesterday, Elena today. Pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Petty checked her swing, or tried to. She couldn't hold up. 2-2.
It's a good location for that off-speed pitch, and got Carly Petty just out on her front foot, thinking in a 2-1 hitter's count that she was going to see something harder and more in the zone.
Off-speed pitch that Alexander used at parts yesterday. That's into left field. Long run for Gordon, who's not going to get there. Petty with the first Oklahoma State hit of the night. Busby moves to second with one down.
Oklahoma State just continuing to make contact, put the ball in play. Not a lot of swings and misses for them up to this point. Good approach that they're having at the plate.
Petty's 5th hit of the NCAA tournament after an 0 for 2 yesterday. So a walk and a single in this inning, and the catcher Reagan Wright will bat. On the ground left side, Jubas in the hole with a great play. Jubas gets the lead runner at third.
So much focus with this play out of Sarah Jubas. This ball was hit hard into the dirt. She timed it right just perfectly to get her glove up and be able to just rob Reagan Wright of a hit and get the force out at 3. What a throw, what a play.
The starting pitcher rather appreciative. Avery Hobson with a foul ball slapped away. 6-5 fielder's choice. Petty at second and Wright aboard at first. And freshman Hobson, a late entry into the starting lineup this year, her 8th straight and just her 12th overall.
Yeah, just one swing and miss so far for Odyssey Alexander. Oklahoma State making a lot of contact, taking pitches out of the zone. Been tough against her so far.
Here's the man in charge for Oklahoma State, Kenny Gajewski. Won a national championship on the Oklahoma baseball team. A couple of national championships as a softball assistant at Florida on Tim Walton's coaching staff. His old baseball teammate. 6th year at OSU. Hobson is short and the inning is over. Jubas with an assist and a putout on the last 2 batters, and Alexander strands a couple. Trying to beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma State in consecutive days. The winner of this game will play Sunday, 1 Eastern ESPN. And the winner of this game will be 1 win away from the World Series Championship Series. 7-8-9. Here in the second inning against Carrie Eberly. Hallie Hall to start it off. And a swing through from Carrie Eberly. Designated player Hall, part of the all-rookie team in the Colonial, had 1 at-bat yesterday. Fouled out to left before being pinch hit for.
Oh. We were talking earlier, Kevin, about the impact transfers for Oklahoma State, and Eberly being one of those who transferred in from Virginia Tech, where in years that she was there, Virginia Tech, at least in the first year, didn't win a ton of games. So she was talking about how emotional she was and how it felt to be here at the Women's College World Series.
On the ground to Pennington at third, and Eberly has the ground out. Well, James Madison, as we've said, has been really the darlings of the softball nation the last 24 hours. They picked up one celebrity fan after another along the way. Twitter's been exploding with JMU and World Series trending, and they got this message of support sent to our own Jalen Johnson.
First of all, congratulations to making it to the World College Series. I'm watching. Hey, go out there and do your best. You're doing a great and amazing job thus far. Go win it all, except when you play my Alabama Crimson Tide. I don't know if you can win it all if you play them, but I'll be rooting for you. All right, go Dukes.
That was T.O. in front of an immaculate steel refrigerator. with a message that he sent to James Madison through our own Jalen Johnson. Jalen, you got the hookup last night.
I got the hookup. I had to find out what is the connection, because he had been tweeting about them during their super regional at Missouri, and I asked him, I said, any connection there? And he said, I just love when teams who are knocking on the door finally get a chance. You know, he went to UC Chattanooga, so not a huge school, and he said, it doesn't matter if you go to the big name schools. It doesn't matter where you go. You can compete at any level, and he's just sending all of his love to the Dukes. But like he said, I'm sorry, except for when they're playing the Crimson Tide.
Jalen, if we get James Madison, Alabama in the championship series, you've got to tell T.O. he's coming to Oklahoma City.
We have to get him on a jet, like right away. Right away.
Seems easy to do. Get him on a jet.
Yeah, no problem. 2-2 for Lauren Burnett. By the way, some of the other folks who congratulated JMU on Twitter yesterday: Ron Rivera, Washington football coach; Ralph Northam, the governor of Virginia; Ron Harper, 5-time NBA champion; and also, I enjoyed this one, the UMBC Athletics Twitter knows a thing or two about upsets over the #1 seed.
Good point.
Burnett fouls it away, still 2-2.
Well, you think about, too, the recruiting aspect of when you make it to the Women's College World Series, the TV exposure, the breaking through to that next level, as JMU had been knocking on the door, made a few super regionals in years past, and finally able to break through with their senior class that was just determined to get here. Had been through all those super regionals and was like, all right, it's our last chance. Let's do it.
7 seniors on this team, but here it's the freshman Burnett who goes down swinging. First strikeout tonight for Carrie Eberly.
It's a nasty drop ball.
Now Michelle Sullivan, the redshirt junior. Pennington's been busy, and Fibry snow cones it for a quick inning. 27 pitches in the first for Eberly, just 10 in a 1-2-3 second. Oklahoma State having a ball here at the World Series. A 3-2 win for the Cowgirls yesterday. Trying to get their way back and to stay in the winners bracket. And the wave is occurring here in OKC for the first time in at least 2 years.
I'm about to participate in it, right?
Here we go. Here we go.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Now.
Yay! Nobody could see us on camera. It makes for great content on TV, but we had fun. 9-1-2 for the Cowgirls here in the third. Chelsea Alexander against Odyssey Alexander. And ball one from Alexander to Alexander. Chelsea had a great regular season. One of the Cowgirls' average and on-base leaders. In fact, their on-base leader, 462 OBP.
Yeah, oftentimes likes to use her drag and keep the corners of the pitcher honest. Use her speed to be able to get on base and serve as a second leadoff hitter down in the 9th spot to turn the order over for Kylie Naomi.
Naomi to follow, then Cheyenne Factor, 9-1-2. And a ground ball to second, and Nayokis. The Women's College World Series Championship Finals begin Monday night right here, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, ESPN. World Series, as you can tell, 100% capacity. So your chance to catch the games in person, get tickets at ncaa.com/WCWS, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. I would suggest buying tickets like now, based on the crowd shots we're seeing tonight. Naomi into left field. And a fly ball to Gordon, out number 2. Lovely breeze through the ballpark right now. Hall of Fame Stadium. Oklahoma State and James Madison fly the flags for game 1. They'll be replaced by the flags of UCLA and Alabama in game 2. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 local. Beth Mullins, Michelle Smith, Jess Mendoza, Holly Rowe on the call. We are spoiled to get Alabama UCLA on day 2 of the World Series. UCLA second, Alabama third in the country. Probably Rachel Garcia, Montana Fouts, you think?
Yo, yes, I do think and hope.
Montana with 16 strikeouts yesterday in a win over Arizona. Walked none, gave up 2 hits. Rachel Garcia, not to be outdone, shut out Florida State.
Yeah, with 11 strikeouts.
27 strikeouts, 14 innings between 2 who are throwing it as well as anybody in the country right now. Strike 1 to Cheyenne Factor, 2-1 from Odyssey Alexander.
Just kind of continues to work from behind. A lot of hitters counts that Oklahoma State's seen. On her screwball there for a strike. You can tell that she's changing her pitch calling a bit, not going up in the zone as much with the rise ball because Oklahoma State has shown patience with that pitch.
Meeks with a diving play at third from her knees. Oh, Lindsay Meeks. What a hoist from the hype leader of JMU.
Remember, she's 4'11", so she doesn't have a big stretch, but it's going to be enough to be able to rob another hit from the left side of the infield for JMU. What a grab, what a stretch by Hannah Shiflett, and the hype man comes through again.
Kate Gordon will lead off in the home third after breaking the Colonial Athletic Association record. Drexel's Linda Rush had 68 in her career. Gordon with 69 most home runs in the history of the conference and the school. And Gordon unloads on the first pitch. There's number 70. Oh, what a swing from Kate Gordon. 2-0 Dukes.
You can tell that Carrie Epperly had changed her game plan a little bit, trying to work the right-handed hitters more inside with her drop ball, but this pitch is elevated. And Kate Gordon is ready and looking for a mistake. She's looking for a pitch that is up, not below the knees. And she explodes on it for another home run. She's been hitting the ball so hard in her last 3 at-bats going back to that Oklahoma game and earlier on today.
Number 20 on the year for Gordon. An even 20 this season, and even 70 for her career. And after a 2 for 24 start to the tournament, she is 2 for her last 3 with 2 home runs. Sarah Jubas. I think it's worth saying, we talked about the extraordinary upset for James Madison yesterday over Oklahoma. That is because of the quality of Oklahoma. They have crushed everybody in their path this year. They lost 2 games. One was to Georgia, then they run-ruled them. The other was to Oklahoma State. Then they beat him 3 times in a row, including a run rule. Not meant to say that it was an upset because James Madison's bad, because they are showing that they belong here as much as anybody. 40-2, having ransacked the SEC with Tennessee and Mizzou, and now James Madison has taken on the beast of the Big 12.
Yeah, they don't like hearing that they're the Cinderella story. They don't want to be called that. They don't really want to be associated with that because they feel like they belong here too. And they're kind of over, I think, the Cinderella name for themselves.
Whether the slipper fits or not, they are here and they are showing off to the nation. Kate Gordon was so good to end the regular season, then went into the CAA tournament and had 3 straight 2-homer games. So she was scorched earth hot going into the NCAA tournament. Figured it was only a matter of time before she got it back. Another 2-2, another ground ball to Eberle, and this time she'll take quite a few steps to first for a soft toss.
Well, Kate Gordon back in her first at bat barreled up a pitch because it was up in the zone. And that's the first pitch on the left. The home run is on her right. Look at how both pitches, both swings that she's had is an elevated drop ball out of the hand of Carrie Epperle that you can barrel up and see more up in the zone. So 2 mistakes that she's thrown to Gordon. One was a deep fly ball out. The other was a fly ball out of here.
strike one to Alexander. Have you seen more mistakes from Eberle than yesterday, or is it simply James Madison's capitalizing more than Georgia?
Yeah, I don't think that her pitch has quite the same break as what we saw yesterday against Georgia, but I think that it's the same way for Odyssey Alexander on the other side. I think that they're not having quite the same movement.
There's a strike to Alexander, and remember, these are both pitchers who threw yesterday. Eberle yesterday 118 pitches, Alexander 129. Both tasked with a back-to-back effort.
You know, she had told us too on Wednesday that she had made a little adjustment with her drop ball and just how she was holding the ball. She felt like earlier on in May she may have been gripping it a little bit too hard, so she loosened up her grip. And when she did that, she was able to get some more movement. And you can tend to hold it a little bit firmer if you are tired or stressed out or nervous a little bit, and it's a normal thing to happen. Potentially telling herself maybe to go back to that adjustment again, to hold the ball a little bit looser and pick up more movement.
One and two for Alexander, who walked her first time. 2-2. Odyssey, an extraordinarily patient hitter, trying to pick up Gordon, who has picked up her pitcher once again. Second straight day with a homer. That is going to get out of play. Still 2-2. Kate Gordon's family, by the way, is watching this. I'm sure many of them from home, but several from here said yesterday that her parents made the trip. Buck and Megan, her grandparents are here as well, along with her uncle. That was yesterday against Georgia. Only the 2 runs, scattered 7 hits. Well, Georgia got to her late in the game, and James Madison's getting to her early tonight. 8th pitch to Odyssey ensures there will be a 9th.
Just see them fighting in their at-bats. 52 pitches that Eberle has thrown here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. UGA was able to get to her late in the game. 6 of their 7 hits came in the 5th inning or later.
Right back to Eberle, another chance for her, and another underhand toss. Nine pitches, though, as JMU continues to drive that pitch count high. We've reached the half-shaded infield portion of the evening. Eberle with a little bit of sunlight and some shadows, throwing to Newton, fully encased in the shadows. All opposite field single in the first for Logan Newton. Right back to Eberle. She knocks it down, and she's not going to have a play here. A scorcher back at Eberle from Newton. And a 2-out single. Newton is 2 for 2, and Kenny Gajewski is going to check on his pitcher.
Logan Newton hit that so hard. Remember, Carrie Eberle is 6 foot tall, so she has a long way to reach down. Hear it hit right off of her shin bone, and oh, that hurts so bad. of time to get her glove down. Really hit me, I think she said.
Kenny Gajewski, member of his training staff, are out there while we wait for Carrie Eberly. One more look at our bracket. These are the winners bracket games, the 1-0 games. Winner of this game plays 1 Eastern in the semi-Sunday, would need just one more win to make the championship series. And then later tonight, Alabama, UCLA. There is Kelly Maxwell, the great lefty for Oklahoma State, heading into the Cowgirls bullpen. Taylor Tuck, reserve catcher, joins her. Eberly's going to stay in the game, or at least she'll throw some pitches before a final determination is made.
And it hit on her landing leg. It looked like that was the leg that was out front, her stride leg. So every time that she strides out and puts force down through the ground on that leg, she's gonna feel it. I mean, you've been hitting the shin before, right? Like, I feel like everybody has run into something or got hit on their shin. It's that really times 100. It hurts. The worst part is that you threw the pitch that somebody hit right back at you too.
So you kind of take it personally as you're nursing an injury?
Yeah. Like, why did I throw that pitch there? And why did she hit it so hard back at me? Logan Newton, though, has hit the ball hard a couple of times off of her.
Went the other way in the first. 2 for 2 now for James Madison's cleanup hitter. So here's Madison Nyokas. 55 pitches for Eberly to 12 batters faced. And this will help the pitch count. Naomi to first, and the inning's over. One more on the board for the James Madison Dukes. It came on the first pitch of the inning from Kate Gordon.
The senior does it again. The 20th home run of her season. One of the best to ever wear the uniform at JMU.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series, presented by Capital One. James Madison 2, Oklahoma State 0 through 3. Let's check in downstairs with Jalen.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm here with Coach Gajewski. Coach, first thing, want to check on Eberly. How's she doing? Is she going to be able to go here in the next inning?
I didn't ask her. I think if she's not feeling good, she'll let us know. But she's a tough kid, so I'm going to just leave her alone.
Fight through it.
Yeah.
What are you seeing for Herman Circle so far today?
I think she's just been okay. She's left a couple of balls up, and the one that got hit over there, over our fence here. But she's been okay. We just got to continue to take good at-bats. Our plan has been good, and we've got to do our part to help her out here.
What was your plan at the plate? What adjustments do you guys need to make against Odyssey?
We just need to stick with our plan. We can't abandon it just because we haven't scored yet. We've had some good at-bats. We put the ball and play hard. They've made a couple of nice plays here. We just got to keep grinding this thing out here. I think we'll be just fine.
All right, you want to hit a couple dance moves? Like what's going on behind
you? These guys are nuts.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. All right.
I'm sure Kenny Gajewski said something, but I don't know what it was, because Raquel Dominguez just shotgunned a bottle of water behind him. That's going to be on CJ Fogler's Twitter pretty soon.
Happy birthday, Mikey!
Oklahoma State just one hit in the first 3 innings. This is an offense that obviously was overshadowed by OU this year, but set a school record for home runs, 14 run rule wins, plus 32 in the NCAA tournament. Perhaps they're ready to explode with the heart of the order in the 4th inning. Allison Febri with a foul tip to start against Odyssey Alexander.
There's so much talent on this team. In fact, Coach Gajewski had said that this is the most talented team that he's had since he's been a head coach here at OSU.
6th season here, 2nd straight trip to the World Series. And he's got Febri, who was a 2nd team All Big 12 pick and ended up as a 1st team All-American. 8 straight games with an extra base hit for Febri coming into the Super Regionals against Texas. She has not had an extra base hit in her last 3, but she was 2 for 3 with an RBI single yesterday. Second-year Cowgirl after 3 seasons at Georgia. Second trip to the World Series with as many teams. 1-2. And Febri hits one high into center field. Sullivan is there. Big first out for Odyssey Alexander. She's held Febri to an 0 for 2. Here's Haley Busby, 3rd team All-American. That is slammed foul.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, but Haley Busby just having a totally different stance to what you just saw out of Allison Febri. Allison Febri, the left-handed hitter, you just saw so much power, gets deep into her legs and her stance. And then you see Haley Busby, and she pretty much starts just straight up, likes to hold her hands high.
That's to third. Another chance for Meeks, and another one made by Lindsay Meeks, who's been Brooks Robinson over at third base.
And that ball was hit hard, another off-speed drop ball that Alexander was able to use for an out.
Lindsay's over at third, flexing to the crowd.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. She's a trip.
Strike 1 to Sydney Pennington. Fouled out to deep left field her first time. Oh.
It's a flex to the crowd right there. Hype man, nonstop, 24/7. Hype woman, I should say.
Lauren Laporte did call her the hype man, but yeah, hype woman is, I guess, more appropriate. Flex on him, Linz. Swing and a miss as Odyssey goes off speed, 1-2.
And she's really starting to work her changeup off-speed drop. She varies her speed between 59 and 63 miles an hour with that off-speed pitch. This has been an effective location for this pitch. Ends up breaking down into the dirt and gets some chases with it. Again. Now a strikeout, her first strikeout of this game with that off-speed pitch, Kevin.
She had 9 yesterday, got her a big head. 1 strikeout today, but 4 scoreless against Oklahoma State.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. I'm here with Coach Laporte. Coach, I think the whole world wants to know, I want to know, what did you guys feed Kate Gordon before you came on this trip?
You know, it's a mentality thing for her right now. You know, she's not only playing, you know, for her family, but for this team and everybody back in Harrisonburg, Virginia, Page County, where she's from. She's just playing, and that's what we kind of told her to do when we were on our way here. Just play, Kate, just play.
What are you seeing from Odyssey in the circle today?
Yeah, I mean, she's doing a good job, you know, keeping their hitters off balance. The changeup is working good, and she has to continue to do that and hit her spots.
You guys had a couple good plays. Lindsay's over here flexing to the crowd. What can you say about your defense so far?
You know, the defense is going to be key. Oklahoma's, they're going to put the ball in play, and we know that. So it's going to be key that we make the big plays behind CC.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Lauren Laporte, Lindsay Meeks having the times of their lives. Lindsay Meeks has made now 4 plays at third base, 4 5-3 groundouts for a James Madison team that just doesn't lose. Lost to Elon earlier in the year, then lost to Missouri game 2 in the Como Super Regional. Came back, won 7-2 game 3. First trip to the World Series, and Meeks will lead it off against Carrie Eberly. Meeks an incredible story, not just that she's the shortest player in the World Series. She actually has already enrolled in PT school at Ohio University. She's from Westerville, Ohio, and she's been traveling back and forth with classes underway. And Meeks shears one off the glove of Naomi, and her throw not in time. Flex on him again, Lindsay. Double flex to the crowd. And they're going crazy in purple and gold.
Mistake that's up in the zone, and she hit that so hard. That would have been an unbelievable play, by the way, by Kylie Naomi. Either on the line drive catch, or if she would have made that throw in time. And Lindsay Meeks told us she doesn't get hype on offense until she gets to first base. And then when she gets to first base, she just lets it rip for her team.
Said my job is to get on base, so I'm serious at the plate, and then I bring the hype and I celebrate when I get my job done. And she'll be taken out momentarily for a pinch runner, Hannah Hennessy at first. Allie Hall with a foul bunt. Actually, it's Kylie Thress, the pinch runner at first. Thress pinch running for the second straight game. Does not have a stolen base attempt on the year. Here's a play to second on the pinch runner, Thress. Nicely done by Wright to eliminate the sacrifice.
Yeah, it's a big deal in a sack bunt situation, force out at 2, that you get the lead runner, and Reagan Wright came up quick to be able to make that throw to Kylie Naomi. Just didn't get far enough away from Reagan Wright. Hall laid it down, but just in a bad spot.
2-6 on the fielder's choice. Now the catcher, Lauren Burnett. Eight and 9 hitters for James Madison with 1 out. If at least one of them gets on, Gordon would have another shot. So those are the stakes here for Eberle, already down 2-0.
I've just been so impressed with the approach that JMU has had against a drop ball pitcher like Carrie Eberle, because to get here, they faced Ashley Rogers from Tennessee, who's more up in the zone, Lauren Krings and Jordan Weber from Missouri, who were more up in the zone. So they've not seen a ton of drop ball pitchers lately. Even yesterday to get here, Shannon Sale more up in the zone.
Felt like in the 5th inning yesterday, Amanda, that Georgia really started to figure out Eberle. They had 2 hits in each of the last 3 innings. And I can't help but wonder how studious James Madison's film session was last night, looking at those last 3 innings in particular against Eberle. And Gajewski looking on. And the starting pitcher has thrown every inning so far this World Series. Stuck with Eberle on back-to-back days. On a 3-1 to Burnett. Ball 4. Number 8 hitter Burnett walks. Second walk for James Madison. Sullivan will come up, and Gordon will move to the on-deck circle.
Yeah, the only other walk in this game was Odyssey Alexander, who came around to score the first run of the game.
Strike 2, Sullivan.
She's still leaving some pitches over the middle of the plate. That was one right there, but JMU showing patience early in the count so far in this inning.
Sullivan into left field. That is caught. Alexander right near the laces for out number 2.
Yeah, that hit oftentimes finds a hole, but Chelsea Alexander gets a good beat on it. Good base running by Hall, not to get too aggressive over at second base and be able to get back.
And here's John Barkfeld, Oklahoma State's pitching coach. We're going to talk over this at bat. And that might be a good idea because Kate Gordon is coming up after this.
Yeah, and she hit a mistake, a drop ball that was left hanging. She got all of it. First pitch of that at bat, and Kate Gordon looking for a mistake and looking to be aggressive. They call Coach Barkfeld, or Kenny G calls Coach Barkfeld the pitching whisperer. A lot of confidence in him. He was old head coach at the University of Tulsa for many years, successful there, and decided to come and be the pitching coach here at OSU.
Kenny said to us, I challenge you to tell me who's better than John. Feels like he has the best staff in the country. He said, I know I'm the 4th best coach on my staff. So 2 on, 2 out for Kate Gordon.
Ooh, goes with the rise ball. Haven't seen many of those out at Carrie Eberly. It's a pitch that she can throw, that she's developed and gotten more confidence in here at Oklahoma State. But again, we said this earlier, relies about 95% of the time on her drop ball.
Gordon this year, a 500 hitter, runners in scoring position. Inning started with a single from Meeks. Hallie Hall tried to lay down a bunt. Reagan Wright threw out the pinch runner, Kylie Terres, at second, then a walk, then a line out. And now Gordon, who's homered in back-to-back games to start the World Series. Two and one. There is a base open, though it's not the ideal base. And you have Sarah Jubas, who homered yesterday, on deck. Off speed from Eberly this time, so she's really mixing it up.
Yeah, the best one that she's thrown all game.
Well, we've seen rise, we've seen off speed, we've seen drop. Where do you go here?
I'd go back to that pitch again.
Instead, pumps it up to 70 and well off the plate. I like your idea better. Hall, the runner at second, Burnett at first with 2 outs. A 3-2 pitch, Eberly to Gordon. And a fly ball to the left, long run, Alexander, and she's got it. Chelsea tracks it down, and the Dukes strand 2 in the 4th. We had 2 really close games in our day-side session yesterday. 2 dominant efforts by the pitchers in the night side. And Odyssey Alexander terrific again in game 1 of 2 on Friday night. Only 1 strikeout for Odyssey. It came to end the 4th against Sydney Pennington, but she has allowed just 1 hit. 6, 7, and 8 for Oklahoma State, which has 9 outs left with which to play. Carly Petty, Reagan Wright, Avery Hobson. 1-1 for Petty. There's Eberly, who, remember, was hit in the shin back in the 3rd inning, elevating that left leg. Does that tell you anything potentially, or about whether she comes back or not, or just what she needs to do to feel right?
I think what she needs to do to feel right. Yeah.
Somebody get Carrie Eberly an ice pack. That was a hard shot off of her shin.
It was,
back in the 3rd. Swing and a miss for Petty, and Alexander struck out back-to-back hitters.
I'll tell you what, I have been so impressed with how Odyssey Alexander has changed her game today. Curveball, inside corner to Petty, not scared to go inside to a lefty, but we saw so much up in the zone against Oklahoma, and against Oklahoma State, she gives a completely different look.
And she goes off speed to right.
Not scared to throw that pitch. She's working it multiple counts, trying to keep them off balance. They did a good job of laying off of her rise ball early. She noticed it and adjusted.
Another one for Meeks. That gets past her. It's the shortstop, Jubis. And her throw not there. Reagan Wright is aboard on a one-out ground ball in the 5th. A base hit for the Oklahoma State catcher.
They've hit the ball hard to the left side a few times in this game, and they've just not gotten lucky. Tough hop there for Lindsey Meeks. And Sarah Jubis, I mean, with the luck that the left side of the infield has had on defense in this game, I was thinking that maybe they're going to get the out, but luck ran out, and Reagan Wright, good hustle to get down the line.
Just the second hit for Oklahoma State. Brings up the freshman slapper Hobson. Trying to bunt and was able to pull it back. Avery lined out to short her first time.
I think one of the more impressive stats when you look back at that game against Oklahoma and the way that Odyssey pitched was not only that she got them to swing and miss 17 times, but that they only had 2 opportunities with runners in scoring position in the game.
I think a lot of folks, once Tiare Jennings' home run cleared the fence, thought, well, here we go. Here comes the Oklahoma flood. And that's what Oklahoma's done all season long. 3rd inning, it was single, home run, Alo singled. And then Alexander got the next 7 with 5 strikeouts and only allowed 2 hits the rest of the way. Let's check in with Jalen.
You saw Lindsey just go over to Odyssey, kind of calm her down in the circle. And Coach Laporte said that Lindsey is not only the hype man for the team, but she is the one that always calms Odyssey down. She knows when she needs a little bit of time, and she knows when to go give her girl a pat on the back.
And after a visit from Lindsey Meeks, there's a strike. Kenny Gajewski saying that ball was up. He was not happy with Don Brown's strike zone. Oklahoma State bench, Jeff Cottrell, the assistant, they're not happy either. Hobson, a 3-1 bunt. Alexander gives way to Meeks. Good idea. Right to second, but there are 2 down.
You know what that takes is just good communication, because Lindsey Meeks knows that Alexander is an aggressive pitcher and she's going to want the ball too. But it's Meeks' job. She's got the better angle. She's going to call it early. Alexander gives way. Got to trust that communication, especially in these moments. Loud crowd, got to be loud, got to consistently communicate on the infield.
Second time Oklahoma State's had a runner to second in the game. And the batter, the 9-hitter Chelsea Alexander. Odyssey, the superior Alexander in the 3rd, got Chelsea to ground out. Starts her here with a strike. Alexander tries to bunt her way on, and she's down 0-2. It's been a while since Oklahoma State has not scored. February 7th of last year against LSU.
Now the first game of the season that year.
That is a long time. You call that game? Was that you on the call for that game? You're really thinking about this. I want people to know Amanda's thinking, not ignoring me.
Yeah, sorry. I don't think so.
I'm just impressed that you knew right away it was the first game of the season.
Yeah, I just know everybody's schedule by heart.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm a very invested fan. Or Mariah Gerhardt told me that.
Oh, that's how the sausage is made, huh?
Appreciate her team effort.
All-time stolen base leader at Oklahoma State is in the truck with us tonight. Our graphics producer, the great Mariah Gerhardt. 0-2. And out of play.
I feel like this is a big out right here. Chelsea Alexander hitting from the 9 spot. You got Kyla Naomi on deck, who just has been eerily quiet offensively in this game and one of the team leaders.
Certainly feel like there's a big hit in her bat before this weekend's over, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right the runner at second. And Alexander slaps one through the left side. Right will get the wave home. The throw is not caught. Burnett couldn't pick a short hop on the throw from Gordon. Whoa, an aggressive wave from Kenny Gajewski, and it pays off. Oklahoma State on the board as Alexander takes second.
Good piece of two-strike hitting by Chelsea Alexander. This senior just shortens up and is able to drive it the other way. Looked like there was going to be a play at the plate because Kenny Gajewski was so aggressive in the third base coach's box. By the way, that's the catcher for Oklahoma State that just scored from second base that he trusted to get in there safely to be able to put Oklahoma State on the board.
That is one gutsy send from Kenny Gajewski. And here's Naomi after it pays off. And Naomi pops it up. Good thing if you're an Oklahoma State fan that Kenny sent her. Alexander scores right. This will not be a shutout for the Cowgirls. They're within a run midway through the fifth. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Gonna build the whole plane out of Lindsay Meeks and Kate Gordon tonight. James Madison 2, Oklahoma State 1. JMU's trying to become the first unseeded team ever to go 2-0 to start at the Women's College World Series. 3-15 all-time the unseeded teams. Dukes beat number 1 Oklahoma yesterday. And they are 6 outs away from taking out number 5 Oklahoma State, though the game is a little bit closer after Chelsea Alexander singled in the 5th, scored Reagan Wright. 2-3-4 hitters: Sarah Jubas, Odyssey Alexander, Logan Newton against Carrie Eberle. Jubas a ground ball into center field, and her first hit of the night. Third time James Madison's put the leadoff runner on in as many innings.
Sarah Jubas' dad, how she got into fast pitch softball, he threw a ball at her in the backyard and was like, if this is what you want to do, this is what you're going to do. And she goes inside and she's like, Mom, Dad just threw a ball at me, but I think it paid off, and she got that single to get her on base.
To be fair, he did throw it near the leg. It wasn't like right at the
Yeah.
But yeah, Sarah is quite an origin story that we got out of her. Jalen, she had at McDonald, Pennsylvania. She decided, I don't want to play this, and then very quickly decided, you know what, I think I might be good at this softball thing. She's made a great career out of her time at JMU. 180 starts now in her career. Ball. And the big hit yesterday in the 3rd inning, that 3-run home run, Jubas. Everybody, of course, talking about Odyssey Alexander and her performance in the circle. Kate Gordon's go-ahead home run, but Jubas provided 3 runs with 1 swing. James Madison never trailed. She did go. Odyssey 1-2.
Yeah, spun that off-speed pitch like a rise ball. Got it to move up. Used to seeing that pitch stay right at the knees or move down a little bit, and she got it to move up. It got that check swing called.
Alexander walking a ground out, seeing a lot of pitches tonight.
Ball.
And she will see at least one more.
You can see she's standing pretty far off the plate, too, against Eberle. Giving herself room on that inside corner and just trusting the fact that she'll be able to reach that outside pitch, and also trusting her eyes, too, to take a couple of close pitches that she saw as balls.
Good ball, good ball.
Looks like she grounded that one off her foot. Seems to be fine, though. Don't forget Alabama, UCLA coming up. Scheduled first pitch time is 8:30 local, 9:30 Eastern. Sixth pitch in this at-bat coming to Odyssey. And a golf shot into left field, a base hit, Alexander. Back-to-back singles, Jubis and Alexander to start the Dukes' fifth.
And this is exactly why she moved off of the plate a little bit, to give herself more room on the inside corner to get her barrel to a pitch like this. We've seen these right-handed hitters get jammed up on an inside drop ball coming at 70 miles an hour. She gives herself more room, backs off the plate, and gets a hit because she adjusted.
And after Eberle missed near the outside corner, Alexander beat her in. Now Logan Newton, the batter who you may recall hit a ball back off the shin of Eberle her last time up. And here comes Kenny Gajewski. And here comes Kelly Maxwell, the Oklahoma State lefty. Going to be our first pitching change of the night and first of the weekend for Oklahoma State, it looks like. Maxwell coming on for Eberle in the fifth. 4+ innings for Carrie Eberle tonight. Fought through a couple of tough innings, stranded 5 through her first 4, but gave up 7 hits, walked 2. A lot of base runners against her. 2 base runners against her with nobody out here in the fifth. And Kenny Gajewski is going to go to Kelly Maxwell.
Yeah, I like the way that Kelly Maxwell spins the ball. It's why Oklahoma State has been so tough. Not only do they have a great offense, but one of the best 1-2 punches in the country with Carrie Eberle and Kelly Maxwell. Going to give a completely different look because she's coming from the left-hand side, has a ton of spin and deception. Throw a curveball and a rise ball. Again, a completely different look.
Maxwell's career has given up just over 4 hits per 7, a lot of strikeouts. And the drop ball specialist Eberle will watch on, hoping that Maxwell can get her out of this sticky spot in the fifth. Jubis a single, Alexander a single, and James Madison with another runner in scoring position scenario. So Logan Newton will bat, the lone lefty in Lauren Laporte's lineup. Say that 5 times fast. Newton 2 for 2. Corners are in case she bunts. And she won't.
And the perfect time to bring in Maxwell, right? Gets to face a left-handed hitter for the first hitter that she faces, and also Newton saw the ball really well off of Eberle, hit the ball hard a couple of times.
And went 2 for 2 against Eberle, opposite field single, and the ball back off of her shin. Ball 2-0.
Thing is, it's going to be a big moment for what Kenny Gajewski calls in Maxwell, third-year freshman. Redshirt her first year. 2020, of course, was a shortened year, and then there's her third year. Big spot to step into.
2-1. 5'10" out of Friendswood, Texas. And no slouch, Kelly Maxwell, a unanimous pick to the first team all Big 12 squad. That's popped up by Newton. Infield fly is applied as Petty tracks it down. Fell behind 2-0 against the cleanup hitter. And Maxwell recovers to get a big first out. Now James Madison's Madison Niokis will bat.
You just see the movement that she has with that curveball. It'll like it was going to start in the left-handed batter's box to this right-handed hitter Niokis, and then just breaks so much back in toward her.
Ball.
James Madison 1 for 5 in the game. Runners in scoring position. Niokis terrific for the season.
Ball.
Takes ball 2. It was her infield single that ended up bringing in the first run with an error on the play back in the first. And the ball back to Eberly. James Madison got another in the third on a Kate Gordon homer. Oklahoma State with a run here in the fifth. Right singled. Hobson sacrificed her to second. Alexander singled her in. 2-2. And strike 3 in the outside corner. 2 on, 2 out, and it'll be Lindsay Meeks, the hype woman, to swing it for JMU.
Coach Lauren Laporte says that Lindsay Meeks brings us all the energy. She's able to do it on defense, was able to hustle out an infield single earlier in this game. But when you look at her, when she has that big moment, she is able to fire up this team. Coach Laporte calls her the best teammate, the best supporter, was a player who earned a starting position this year, was a backup for most of her career, and earned that starting spot at third base with her energy.
Oh, Jalen?
Lindsay said she shows her love through her passion. She said she loves her teammates so much. She can't remember a day in her life where she wasn't playing softball. And after she gets her job done, that's how she sends her teammates love, through her passion and her energy.
Told us, I don't have any memories of not playing softball. On a 2-0 count, she'll take a strike.
And that wasn't said like tongue-in-cheek. That was said very, very seriously. I don't have any memories about softball.
The redshirt junior, the shortest player in this tournament at 4'11", with a 2-1 count. And a strike ticketed to the outside corner for Maxwell.
Such an unbelievable backdoor curveball that Kelly Maxwell can bring to these right-handed hitters. Likely to go back to that same pitch again.
Ball.
Ooh, ball 3 as Maxwell tested the corner again.
A little bit outside. Good pitch, but an even better eye that Lindsay Meeks had to take it.
She is their walks leader, Meeks, with 39. Uses the smaller strike zone to her advantage. Runners will be in motion, 3-2. And Maxwell drops the silver hammer to get out of the fifth. Eberly loves every second of it. 3 up and 3 down for Kelly Maxwell out of the Cowgirls' pen. A 2-1 lead for unseeded James Madison. And Cheyenne Factor leads off by taking ball 1 from Odyssey Alexander. Third time around the order for Alexander, and she'll face 2, 3, and 4. Factor, Febri, and Busby. Big bats in the Oklahoma State lineup. Pitch count very low. Number 62 up and in, and it must have hit the bat because Factor's not moving. It is a foul ball.
Yeah, I feel like if JMU wants to win this game and hold on to just the 1-run lead, that this is going to be the most challenging inning that they could face. Factor, Febri, and Busby have been so good this entire season. So much power. And Vets in the middle of the lineup.
Factor in a home run yesterday. It was her first since May 7th. Oklahoma State as a team has homered in 18 of its last 19 games, but none tonight. And the top hitters held in check. 2-2. A girl they call CC, Odyssey Alexander. Misses high for ball 3. It is ODICCI, hence the nickname amongst her teammates and the JMU faithful. On 3-2, Factor walks. A rise ball not close. The tying run aboard with nobody out for Allison Febri.
Yeah, that's been the difference against Oklahoma State than against Oklahoma, is that Oklahoma State just continues to take that pitch that's up in the zone, and it's a pitch that she had so much success with last night against Oklahoma.
Pinch runner going to come in the game. That will be Macy Kincannon, who is the top pinch runner off the Oklahoma State bench. And there is action in the James Madison bullpen. That's Alyssa Humphrey, who was a first-team all-conference pick. CAA Rookie of the Year. Heck of a pitcher in her own right. Lauren Laporte's going to stick with Alexander for now, but she has Humphrey as an option. Allison Febri, 0 for 2 in the game. Line out to first, fly out to center. And a first pitch fly ball from Febri. She got under it, and she flies out to Gordon and left.
Talked about, Kevin, how Odyssey Alexander has changed her game plan and her pitch calling tonight against Oklahoma State. Yesterday against Oklahoma, she loved to throw that rise ball, made her curveball not only curve, but also be more up in the zone. She lived up in the zone. And today, Oklahoma State not biting at it, so she changes her game plan to go more curve, screw, and off speed to be able to get some outs.
That one nearly got away. Great play by Burnett on ball 1 to Busby.
The thing is, too, you can tell that they're making more contact with Alexander. As I mentioned yesterday against Oklahoma, 17 swing and misses, and tonight only 5.
Burnett's going to come out on 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Couple of errant pitches there. That last pitch looked like it was supposed to be a curveball, and her hand just was behind her hip, got caught.
Thinking about the stakes right now, Amanda, for JMU. A loser this game will have to play tomorrow. The winner gets a day off before Sunday, and Humphrey's a very good option. But James Madison has rode the right arm of Alexander all the way here. She's thrown nearly every inning in the postseason, 43 out of 50. And if they win this game, she does not have to pitch tomorrow. If Oklahoma State comes back to win, Lauren Laporte's going to have a really tough decision. Will she go with Humphrey either for the first time in the World Series or the second time out of the bullpen, or would you start Odyssey a 3rd game in a row? Busby swinging away 3-0. That would have been ball 4 clearly.
Yeah, helping Odyssey Alexander out big time. Guessing a little bit that she was going to get a pitch that was over the heart of the plate, and it wasn't. A few swing and misses that she's had have been on that off-speed pitch.
What does that tell you as a pitcher here?
Throw it again.
Smart of you to wait till she did it to confirm. I mean,
I like throwing the same pitch back-to-back times. I don't feel like we've seen that a lot here. And the hitters swung and missed at some pitches, and then you feel the necessity, the importance to go to something else. I like throwing the same thing back-to-back times.
Throw it 3 more, a third time?
Why not? Yeah, same location.
From 3-0 to 3-2. And she changed it up, went up in the zone, and got Busby to pop out. Would have been a 4-pitch walk, but Busby swung at a 3-0 pitch in the dirt. And a couple of pitches later, she's out number 2.
You know how good that feels as a pitcher? You fell behind 3-0, really weren't even close to the strike zone, and then a hitter helps you out on a 3-0 count. Thank you. She gets back into it to get the out for Busby, who has double-digit home runs. That's huge.
Would have been first and second, 1 out for Pennington. Instead, a runner at first and 2 down. And Sydney pops up, strike 1. Again, with Humphrey in the bullpen, clearly she's ready to go. Love to know Lauren Laporte's thinking after the game. What if it's a 4-pitch walk with Humphrey ready to go? Would she have made the move?
So true. I feel like that one at bat is just such a game changer in this game.
Pennington have fouled out and a strikeout. And strike 2 as Alexander's found her groove now.
Think about it too, just runner at first base, 2 outs, Kevin. If see a ball in the gap, that runner from first base is going to be looking to score in a tight game like this.
Very good runner, Kincannon. Pennington right back to Alexander. Another epic twirl by Odyssey. James Madison is 3 outs away from a 2-0 start at the World Series.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
James Madison University, 21,751 students at Harrisonburg, Virginia. They have come here to take down the big dogs, trying to win their first 2 games as an unseeded team, which nobody has ever done at the Women's College World Series. Pitch hitter is Emily Phillips, and that is ball 1 off the plate. It's not a small school, James Madison. They're just not in a power conference. A big school with a whole lot of athletic success and history. Adding to it here in June of 2021 in what has been a memorable way for this sport. Think about the growth of softball, Amanda, and certainly you've been in the game a lot longer than me, and we've talked about the growth at this complex, but a team like James Madison, 20 years only as a softball program, this may not have been something that was possible for much of the Women's College World Series history, a run like this.
It's just been a lot of fun to watch, and they've just ignited this passion in so many new fans or neutral fans who have hopped right on their bandwagon too and supported them along the way. That even Lauren Laporte showing gratefulness and appreciation for that support yesterday in the press conference.
Ball.
Kind of game that, and kind of run that every team in the CAA can draw from, every team in the ASUN, every team in any conference that doesn't have a big budget. Kelly Maxwell to the pinch hitter Phillips. Strike 3. 4 in a row retired by Maxwell. 3 straight strikeouts out of the pen.
Yeah, she's just been able to find this outside corner, these right-handed hitters with this backdoor curveball. It's a nasty pitch. She cuts it across, spins it, and is just able to nip the outside corner to where even if you don't swing at it, it's going to be a strike.
Got a swing there and a strike against Burnett. Strikeout walk for the freshman catcher Burnett, who seemed so steady behind the plate.
Was a pitcher who went through some mechanical changes once she got to college, specifically with her windup. Whenever she got to Oklahoma State, she pitched with a backswing to where the ball would come out of her glove, and they decided to change that to be able to hide grips and not get picked as much. And it took her a little while to get used to that change, but in fact, it took about a year. Spent a lot of time also working with her pitching coach back in Houston, Kyla Hollis. He used to be the head coach at the University of Houston.
Maxwell's 2-2, and Burnett just gets a piece.
Just has really good spin, and that tight spin that she has creates that major movement that looks like a pitch is going to be somewhere else, and you swing and miss it. Just so deceptive, and a ton of swing and misses already.
Mentioned Kenny Gajewski and his great staff. John Barkfeld right there, the Oklahoma State pitching coach. Kenny told us the first person I called when I hired John was Kelly Maxwell. I said, I did this for you. John Barkfeld's star pupil has just struck out 4 in a row.
Just throwing the same pitch over and over and over again, not even having to change anything. It's her backdoor curveball. Clips the outside corner, starts in the left-handed batter's box, and then breaks back across the inside corner. That pitch is nasty. It is so hard to hit. In fact, I don't even think any of them have touched it off of her.
3 straight swinging strikeouts, 1 looking, and another one into Sullivan. And the reason that Kenny Gajewski said he called Kelly Maxwell when he hired John Barkfeld is he said, well, Kelly, you deserve this. You took a chance by agreeing to that first redshirt year.
Yeah, and they redshirt. That's a really good point. They ended up redshirting her. He called her into his office and said, hey, I have something I want to talk to you about. She was getting hit hard at practice, felt like she needed a little bit of rest from how much she was used in high school. And he said, have you ever heard of Megan King? And it started the conversation because if you know anything about Florida State, they love to use that red shirt specifically with their pitchers to give them that extra time to develop and grow. And that's the same thing that they did with Kelly Maxwell. And Megan King, of course, the Florida State pitcher who led them to a national championship and a lefty.
Ball.
Well, for 2 night for the 9-hitter Michelle Sullivan, trying to do what no one has done yet, and that is put a dent in Kelly Maxwell. Waiting in the wings with 3 outs to get, Odyssey Alexander. Kelly Maxwell's making Megan King and every other left-hander in the world proud tonight. 5 straight strikeouts for her. Oklahoma State's going to need a run against Odyssey Alexander. Looking to finish off back-to-back wins over the Bedlam 2 and take JMU to Sunday. What a spectacular night in Oklahoma City. What a spectacular first 2 days of this World Series. James Madison 3 outs away from a 2-0 start as an unseeded team in OKC. And it all rests on the shoulders of Odyssey Alexander and her defense now. Facing 6, 7, and 8 in the Oklahoma State lineup. Carly Petty to kick it off. Strike one on pitch number 78. Petty singled in the second, struck out swinging in the 5th. Oklahoma State has just 3 hits, 2 walks against Odyssey Alexander. In the air left side, Gordon at the wall, and it's off for glove. It's a foul ball. A foul ball for strike 2. Petty just kept running to third, might as well, but it is a foul ball signaled by the third base umpire, Leah Dame.
Thought this one had a chance to get out of here. And look at Kate Gordon just trapped this ball down right into the fence. I thought she was going to catch it. She was on it.
Lauren Laporte came out to see if Kate Gordon needed any help, and Kate said she's okay.
Clearly foul, yeah.
Jinx, heal me a soda. Only 2 strikeouts for Odyssey tonight. She hits Petty in the helmet. On an 0-2 pitch. Petty is plunked. And the tying run is at first.
It's a tough mistake. It's a change-up she held on to, and Petty gets hit in her shoulder and face mask.
Dead ball.
Well, we saw Carly Petty get hit actually in the face in the field a few weeks ago in Bedlam. Had to have 5 stitches put in, so this is nothing for her. A tough kid. She's at first. Batter is Reagan Wright. And Kenny Gajewski is going to call timeout and get his team together. So you have some options here if you're Oklahoma State. Could pinch run for Petty. Could bunt for Wright, but then you'd be getting to the 8 and 9 hitters. And we'll see how Kenny Gajewski plays this down a run with nobody out in the 7th. How would you?
Oh, this is such a tough decision here because of the fact, too, that Reagan Wright got a single on her last at bat. Oh. I think I would maybe use a pinch hitter here as he goes to his lineup card. What we all expected.
So you just do whatever Kenny does, huh? Kenny says, I'm jumping off the bleachers. You jump off the bleachers.
Actually going to be a pinch runner here, but I try to lay down a bunt here, sacrifice, yeah.
That would bring Hobson to the plate, who's lined out hard, hit a sacrifice tonight. Had a couple of big hits of late, Avery Hobson. And that pinch runner will be Scotland David. Now, David is 8 for 9 as a base stealer this year.
I think, too, David really got to look for an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Pitch that Alexander has been leaning on and at times has thrown it in the dirt.
Wright will square. David will go. And the throw. Hops into center. David's going to hang on at second base. So that changes the equation as Scotland David scoots her way to second with nobody out.
Shows blind and then ends up stealing that throw, just not anywhere close to being where it needed to be. And Kenny Gajewski looked a little bit.
I think we just got an out call, man. I think Cameron Ellison, the first base umpire, just signaled an out. I wonder if David left the base too early.
Still at second base. Maybe call that she went, so it's going to be a strike call, so not left
yes,
early.
That's what it was. Yes, saw David with the fist extended. Kenny Gajewski was losing his mind. but it is going to be a stolen base and a strike. So 0-1 the count. And Wright will try to bunt again, and that is strike 2.
But again, to me, it looked like Kenny Gajewski was a little bit surprised that she went. This is going to be the strike call. She clearly pulls back, but Gajewski not in an agreement with that.
See the pullback motion. So instead of 1-1, it's 0-2 to Wright. Will she square or swing? She'll foul one off. And it's a foul ball. Wright thinking about going, but she did knock it. Still 0-2. Wright held up. Ball 1.
It's a good take, but trying to go to the best pitch up in the zone with that rise ball, and Oklahoma State just continues to take it.
The 5th-year senior Alexander against the 5th-year senior Wright. A ground ball back to Odyssey. David is hung up. Throw back to second. Jubis will chase her. David's going to go back to second. Now Wright is going to go to second behind her, so somebody's going to be at second base. James Madison continues the run down, and David is tagged out. Wright replaces David at second. And now Kenny Gajewski's telling David to stay at third. Was there out called? David goes back to third. Hold your horses. David is at third base. Looked like an out was granted, and now there is apparently no out called as the umpires are going to talk this over. Did David elude the tag?
No, it's going to be an obstruction call in the middle of that pickle there.
The dreaded obstruction rears its head for Lauren Laporte, and it's going to be second and third, nobody out.
And there's so much going on. We're going to have to see exactly where it was. But this is the entire time that this was happening. All I was thinking is they better be careful that there's not an obstruction call. Could have been it right there where there's contact. That player did not have possession of the ball. There's contact made. Was blocking the base path.
Let's bring out a rules expert, Christy Cornwell. Christy, what do you see here?
Amanda's got the right explanation on that. As the runner was caught in the pickle, there's contact made with someone who doesn't have the ball, so that is obstruction by rule.
Christy, I'm just delighted we have you here, particularly in this inning.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. 3-time World Series umpire Christy Cornwell. And a massive break for Oklahoma State. Second and third for Hobson with nobody out. And a strike taken. What more do you want to see in this 7th inning? Good grief. An 0-2 hit by a pitch to the helmet. A steal by the pinch runner. A controversial strike on a bunt. And now an obstruction. And it is Hobson with a check swing foul.
Go back to how that play started, though. A really heads-up play by Odyssey Alexander, and a ball that was hit right back to her to think to go to third, to look the runner back. That could have been an exceptional play in this game and a big out, and instead just James Madison didn't have the luck and doesn't get the call.
Scoring there is a fielder's choice, an E6 on the obstruction by Jubis, allowing David to go to third. On 0-2, Hobson lifts one to left. Gordon in foul grounds got it, and David is going to stick at third on a shallow fly ball. One gone in the 7th.
It's one of the best case scenarios there if you're a JMU fan, if you're on defense. One of the other scenarios that would have been good, a strikeout in that situation, but that foul ball, that ball in the air was just not deep enough to score.
So it'll be Chelsea Alexander with one out. 1 for 2 today. It's driven in the only Oklahoma State run in the 5th. And she is a threat to lay down a bunt, too. First pitch swinging and strike one. Only Oklahoma State hit with a runner in scoring position came from Alexander back in the 5th. A 2-out single to score Reagan Wright.
Pretty big shift going on with the outfield. Sullivan, the center fielder, playing well into the left center field gap, opening up center field and right center.
A bunt shown and ball one taken.
Got to be ready for anything here too. Maybe even a squeeze. Got speed up at the plate and a good bunter in Chelsea Alexander, who can put down a lot of bunts.
There it is. Alexander coming to the plate. And she got her.
This is one of the most unbelievable plays I have ever seen. You're thinking it too if you're a pitcher. The squeeze might come. She feels it, doesn't even give the toss. She goes for the dive and the tag. What an unbelievable play by the senior, the athlete, the fighter.
They've been checking on her, Lauren Laporte and her staff, after the all-out head-first dive from Odyssey Alexander. A play that, with one more out and the lead protected, will go down in the history of this university.
It's a game of inches here, Kevin. No matter you're in the postseason or regular season, the runner at third base just stumbled, hesitated a little bit. Could have been the difference between out and safe, but either way, this play is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
From one of the coolest people we've ever met.
Look at how both of her arms go different ways. When she dives, she lands on her pitching arm. It goes underneath her, and her glove hand goes to her other side.
Remember yesterday in the 8th inning, there was a ground ball from Tiare Jennings that hit Alexander in the leg. JMU took a look at her, but there was no way she was coming out of the game. She got the final 2 outs after being hit in the leg. And you know she's going to do everything possible to get the final 1 out after the all-out effort to tag David at the plate. Chelsea Alexander took second behind her. Wright is the tying run at third, and the batter is Kylie Naomi, Oklahoma State's leadoff hitter.
Well, what you have to do now is compose yourself, catch your breath.
Strike one.
And we've said this before, Kevin, but Kylie Naomi has just been eerily quiet so far.
On the ground and foul. And James Madison is 1 strike away. No unseeded team has ever won the first 2 games at the World Series. But no other unseeded team has ever had Odyssey Alexander. In the air, short center. Jubas is out. Gordon is in. Jubas has the ball, and the dance continues for James Madison. Odyssey Alexander and the James Madison Dukes are staying in the winner's bracket. Oklahoma yesterday, Oklahoma State today, and the word Bedlam can now be defined with purple and gold colors.
Well, you know, Kevin, they've done it on the road the entire NCAA postseason. In Knoxville against Tennessee, in Columbia against Missouri, and then you're playing basically Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, then this is in Oklahoma. It's like a home game for both of these teams. Everybody rooting against them. They believe in each other. They believe in Odyssey Alexander and their fans and their coaching staff, and what a fight until the very end that this game turned out to be.
As cool as it gets, in and out of the circle. Lauren Laporte, not so cool, but she doesn't need to be. She's fired up, and Jalen is with Odyssey.
Odyssey, no unseeded team has ever gone 2-0 in the Women's College World Series, and you guys have done it in dramatic fashion. What was the feeling of this team today? How did you guys get here?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really have my best stuff today, but, you know, I made it work. The defense was awesome. I mean, they made some good plays, and, I mean, that's what you need as a pitcher. You know, you want to trust your teammates. So, I mean, I'm just so proud.
Walk me through that play that just happened at the plate, the second out of that last inning.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I just saw her in, like, my peripheral, and, I mean, any way I could get her, I was going to get her. I didn't really have time to toss it to Lauren, so, I mean, just going for it.
What can you say about your fans that have been here this weekend to cheer you guys on? I got shirts up here, big heads.
I mean, I love it. I love the support, and I couldn't appreciate them more.
And of course, I'm not going to make you cry anymore, but I know you want to give your shout out to your grandparents at home, so go ahead and do that for them.
There you go, Pops. That was for you.
Congratulations, Odyssey.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Our Capital One player of the game, who do you think? It's Odyssey Alexander. Another complete game and another win over a top 5 team.
I feel like that play, that squeeze play, that dive by her is going to be just in our memories like the Jessie Warren diving play. We're going to remember that forever, and it's going to get played over and over again.
A moment for a lifetime. James Madison. James Madison is 1 win away from the championship series. Harrisonburg, Virginia's 1,215 miles from here, and it's never felt closer. The Dukes are in the winner's bracket. Oklahoma State's going to have to fight back tomorrow. Oh my gosh, we still have another game. Alabama, UCLA. What a night already. What a weekend as James Madison does in Oklahoma State 2-1. Courtney, Kayla, Jenny, go ahead and make sense of this one in the studio, will you?